The masquerade is in full swing now. Friends and foe alike are here for our heroes to find. But who can be trusted, and what machinations have our heroes found themselves in?
Where we last left off, Nostra had just talked to fake Elena, and then she stepped away, revealing that she knew who he was, and I was unclear about this. The guards step in so you can't do anything to her, not to arrest you.
Gotcha.
So, you are not in trouble, you are not being arrested or detained in any way. They are just making sure that you are not going to jump her.
Right.
So, Sigurthur, how's the masquerade going for you, following Lena around? And are you still following Lena around, or did you separate as the night went on?
No, I think Sigurthur is just following, just sticking to Lena. I mean, bodyguard after all.
Right. So after some time of the night is going on, dances are happening. Lena is being introduced to everyone and anyone, having an all-around terrible time. You are approached by Seraphine of the Duelist Guild. Well, hello, Sigurthur. It's nice to... By the way, it's a masquerade. You guys all kind of vaguely know who each other are. You're gonna get arrested unless, I say something about that, okay?
Right. First thing I want to say is, does she actually know who I am? Because I gave her a fake name last time I talked to her.
Oh, you're right. She would know your other name. What's your fake name? I don't remember, at all.
Sersha.
Okay. Thank you.
I wrote it down on my character sheet for this reason.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a masquerade. You guys infiltrated enough that you're not being arrested. Unless something changed. If someone goes up and stabs Miguel, that would be different.
It's nice to see you again, Sersha.
Oh, Seraphine, it is nice to see you too.
How goes your fight for honor and all that is just? I see that you've fallen in with the Cultus Falce, unless you're just making a very uncomfortable statement?
Well, let me say it wasn't my choice.
I mean, I don't see why not. They are the most honorable and unscrupulous group in the city.
I mean, they do fight for justice, just their means might be a little extreme.
Everything is above board. Nothing is dishonorable. And that's what you're about, isn't it? You want to fight with honor. That's all you asked me about. Why we don't fight for honor. Why we don't fight for justice. I mean, the Cultus Falce seems to be what you want. They don't do anything dishonorable ever. In fact, they kind of do the opposite.
The last time we talked, I was recently returned to the city. I did not know the details of what was happening here, and that's why I came to the Duelist Guild. And I'm sorry that our meeting did not go particularly well. I was unprepared for the amount of changes that had happened in the city.
That's okay. Man, I don't know your...
Sersha.
Oh, man. We can't have extra names in this. We cannot.
It's like a Russian novel in here.
Right? That's okay, Sersha. I'm not mad. I just think you guys are two peas in a pod. You guys both fight for honor. You both do what you need to be done. But I do what I need to do to get out of here. And hopefully it'll be soon.
That sounds good.
So she leaves you and walks away as the music continues playing.
I also want to point out I did not even try to hide the accent at all.
I don't remember what half these people sound like, if I'm being completely honest.
No. I'm saying, so last time I talked to her, I started with a very bad Irish-ish accent, and then slowly slipped out of it in my conversation with her when Sigurthur got frustrated, and then this time didn't even bother trying. And that was on purpose.
So, Lena, describe the evening, how it's been going for you. It's been a bit. It's probably been 2-3 hours into this party.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty monotonous. It's a lot of her being led around to different people that her mother and father are trying to reintroduce her to, I guess is the right word. I think it's a lot of that, and she's seen more faces that she doesn't recognize and some that she does, and it's just moving from one person to another. I don't know. I would assume at this point it's pretty bland conversation. And mostly her mother, like, pulling her to the next person. Because, like you said, this whole thing is meant to be, meant to help push her family's, notoriety.
Yes, exactly that. So this goes on for a long time when eventually you're able to get a break for a little bit, partially because I want you to be available to dance with all the young suitors. So you immediately go to the punch bowl. While there, a woman of about that's a similar age to you, a little bit younger, with dark black hair, a clear complexion. She's wearing this season's clothing. She looks not.
She's fashionable.
Yeah, she's fashionable. She's not like hyper rich, but she is fashionable and in season. Is it in season? I don't know how fashion works. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I make it like I need to do the Conan of Cody where he's like, I grew up in a small rural town. Like, where's my game? A small rural town. What does everyone look like?
I didn't grow up in a town. We were in the county, not in a. I was not in a town technically, outside of all city limits.
I mean, I do this to myself. I hate myself. I think that's what this is saying.
She's in the latest fashion. I think that's a good way to put it.
She's in the latest fashion. She looks nice. She has accented colors in the Castilian fashion, where it's very dark colors and then a one cloth or a couple of cloths of bright, vibrant color to accent the whole outfit. Well, how are you doing, stranger?
Who is that underneath that mask? Is it you?
You don't recognize me, Vanessa?
And Magdalena, goes to clasp her hands. Because I figured, it's kind of hard to hug when you're in the kind of...
Poofy.
Yeah, poofiness that they have now.
I never thought about how that would inhibit you from, getting close to a person.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why all their dancing was, at arm's length, touching
Yeah, because you
fingertips.
can't... Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, so she goes and she clasps her hands. It is so good to see you. It's been, how many years has it been at this point?
It's been a lot. You were gone for quite a bit, and even before that, you were busy with the guard, so we didn't get to see each other as much, but I'm glad you're home.
I know. I guess life in general has been busy. How have you been?
Things have been good here, moving up in the world. From what you remember, I'll give you a quick reminder. Vanessa was a little bit lower class than you. Not significantly so, but you were the wealthier friend. She was much more into the court side of things, where you were a guard and doing the sword fighting, where she was just like, I'm gonna do the court intrigue. And she's always been a great source of gossip for you.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what have you been doing for these, 5 years? What are you doing right now?
Well, right now and she gives you a look, I'm pregnant?
Oh my goodness, congratulations!
Has Miguel not told you?
Why would Miguel tell me anything?
He's kind of my husband.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
Well,
Gelly failed to mention anything.
He is forgetful like that sometimes. You think he would remember the best thing that's ever happened to him, but...
You would think. He's kind of a terrible person like that.
I mean, he's just forgetful. He's really sweet when you get to know him.
Vanessa, I have known him my whole life. I don't know who you think you're talking to.
Did you know him or did you know him? Not like that, you gross.
This is going into a conversation.
Take it easy, Game of Thrones.
I meant, were you close with him or did you just, around him?
I mean, I used to be close with him. Again, not in that way.
I didn't mean in that way. What do you think we are? The Glamour Isles? No, we don't sleep with our siblings.
That's why I was concerned.
I know family's everything here, but it's not like that. Jeez.
So, okay, is Gelly keeping you home, or are you in court a lot? Have you been...
I mean, I'm in court as much as I can get away. Do you think I let Gelly tell me what to do? I never did when we were kids.
Well, no, but I didn't know if there was something else that you had taken up while I have been gone. So you've been around everybody, all of the new nobles, and how is? I mean, it's been so long since I've been gone. How has Catalina been now that she's taken over for her father?
She's been fine. I mean, kind of boring if you ask me. Like, nothing has really been happening. Like, things have just been kind of chaotic, and you think having a ruler back would make that less so, but it's just kind of stayed the same. Like, the siege is still going on. Problems weren't being fixed until the Duke's Rebellion and the Gravediggers kind of got together. That's big news. Have you heard about that?
Oh, no, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, like, apparently...
I wasn't even aware there was a Duke's Rebellion.
Yeah, they're, like, for the old Duke, but I think they're more, like, seize the means of production to overthrow everything kind of people, so I don't really want them around. They seem scary and terrifying, and you have to be careful of them, Lena. They do not like nobles.
Yeah, I believe that. That makes sense for a group called the Duke's Rebellion. So, I would like to, without having to, like, go down the rabbit hole of trying to find the right conversation trees, I'd like to roll Convince, and I don't know what the trait would be, you can tell me, but basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get, like, the juiciest gossip out of her about the top tier people.
I think wits, because you're trying to be coy about it.
Okay.
No, what you need to do is you need to go through it, the dialogue options, get the answer, be like, I don't like that, reload the save, go through it and do a different tree, get the same answer, be like, oh, I don't like that, go back, reload, do the first tree again, and be like, it's the same. And then a month from now, when you get another dialogue tree, do the exact same thing like it's going to be different and the game is actually good when it's not.
I have no regrets.
Okay, so I said wits and convince. So wits, convince, extra dice. And does my friend at court do anything? Oh, I guess you gave me a friend, so I don't have to use a hero point for that. Okay.
It's more fun to have it be an actual person, you know?
I mean, I agree. Okay. Jeez Louise. Okay, so 999. Okay, so I have 2 raises and a dice left over.
All right. You get to pick 2 people to get information about. Or like one good piece of information about.
Okay, I want to get one really good piece of information about Fake Alina and one really good piece of information about Senor Santiago.
Okay. So the gossip going around on the streets is that every night Fake Alina's jeez.
I know, I've messed you up, but
I mean, it's a good name. Like, it works really well.
It's good for us to keep track of the 2, but in context,
Right.
Yeah.
Catalina.
Catalina is sneaking out of the castle alone every other night.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there is a stable boy that is catching her attention.
And she's able to get out by herself? She just goes?
I assume when you're Duchess, you can do whatever you want in the town?
You know what? I knew that you were the person to go to who would know stuff about what is going on, because I am so hungry for gossip.
I'm the best at what I do. How do you think I got your brother?
Look, usually I'm questioning my brother's tastes, but not in this area.
She, curtsies.
Okay, so has Gelly been telling you anything then about Senor Santiago? I mean, come on, he's got to be coming home and complaining about his boss.
Honestly, no, he really likes him. They seem to be cut of the same cloth. Nothing bad, says he has a lot of great ideas. Thinks all of his plans are really well thought out. He listens to Gully a lot. Also, you cannot tell him I've been calling him this again. He hates it so much.
Just don't tell him you've been hanging out with me. Because I will continue to call him Gelly.
That's fine. But if he knows that I'm calling him that, he's going to be so mad.
I'm not going to say anything to him. Is that the gossip about Senor Santiago?
Yes, I think that should give you a hint about a lot of information about him if you feel that feels fair.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think they continue to gossip and it's pretty like inconsequential, like, and this Baroness was wearing the wrong color shoes and Catalina said that was ugly.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that kind of like, and then they like use the wrong dinner fork. They use the dinner fork before the salad fork. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
It's making you completely remember why you're like, yeah, I remember why I went to the guard.
Yeah. And I think at some point her mother notices that she's been standing over by the punch bowl and like is like, boys, come see boys.
She eventually does that and moves you in. Cormac, seeing your plight, like comes up to you to help. And your mother deftly, like, turns you away. It's like, you're not. She's like...
Ineligible.
She's like, you're not dancing with stage performers. Like, we're moving up, we're not moving down.
Yeah.
But you are led onto the dance floor and spend the next while dancing.
Woo.
Nostroy, it's been a minute. What are you up to? I know you don't want to have a scene, but, like, just how is Nostroy canvassing the... place?
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
Just a clarifying question. The stable that she's sneaking out to, or like wherever she's sneaking out to, is it like out of the like castle area or is it within?
Yes, it is out of the castle area.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Nostroy.
Yeah, the information from that, to clarify, is that you know that she's sneaking out. Vanessa does not know what she's doing. It is all gossip about what she's doing.
She was editorializing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I have a few ideas, and you can kind of tell me how much of this makes sense to do. So, I've just kind of been made, right? But then nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
So, Nostroy, I think, then is going to... It like, throws him off. Like, he doesn't exactly know what to do. You know, like, he's expecting to go around and have this facade of being like, Gregorovich, the circus performer, come and see my show, like he was going to go around and basically tell that lie to everybody as much as he could. And now it's like, what is the point? So I think that he kind of is like sulking and watching and like that he's like not like, oh, I'm not, he like doesn't see a reason to be like out in the party at the moment. So I think he ends up sitting by like whatever kind of kitchen staff, like whoever is staffing the party, like whatever, like servants, cooks, people bringing around food and drink. Like he's trying to like see where they're kind of around and is going to try to find, like kids that are like, oh, like bringing jugs around, stuff like that. He's trying to
I have my spies there.
Oh, okay. So it'd be similar to that. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily want to talk to specifically the spies, but just like the staff in general.
Okay. Make me like a notice roll with whatever trait you think you are talking with.
Yep, that makes sense. Give me 1 second.
I'm assuming panache, but if there's like a different way you're going about it, you can make an argument,
Yeah. Give me 1 second, because I did that thing I do where I never open my character sheet until I desperately need my character sheet. 2 successes.
Alright, you cannot get quite as... well, you could. You get 2 questions to ask that the serving staff.
I think what he does is he waits until he finds, like... I'll say I'm looking for someone who's, like, a staff of the family, right? And... Nostroy is going to, like, find them, like, they're walking around the hallway and just, like, call the person down and go, excuse me, first of all, I would just like to say, I am sure you have been working hard this whole time. How's about this? I'm a performer. We did the show. We're doing the circus. How's about this? Why don't you have a drink with me? Take a load off. Give yourself a break. I need to ask you a few questions.
Why not?
So, okay, I'm working for this family at the moment as an entertainer. I'm not sure if I want to continue doing so. Look,
He looks at you. Get out now.
This is what I'm worried about. Alright, so here's what I need to know. Is there bad blood between the Duchess and this family? Like, am I tying myself to a bad horse here? Like, you must hear arguments. I don't need any scandal. I just need to know if they are at odds before I consider myself to be in the employ of this family.
They apparently are doing a better job than I thought. The Duchess does not notice this family. The fact that she's here is baffling, honestly. Like, this is the first time that I've ever seen her here. Senor Santiago, that's a different matter. Sort of.
Well, he must like them, right? The son works for him. They
seem to get along well. The son, kind of a prick.
Well, yes, but I mean...
And I mean, by kind of, I mean totally. And if he decided to, live in his own house full time, I would not be upset. Then I would say, come work here. It's, hard work, but the lord and lady of the house aren't bad.
Nostro goes, I see. Okay. And one more question. I, again, do not mean to cast aspersions on the person who you work for. Are your wages paid? Or are you frequently not? Because I have yet to be compensated for my time, and it's not a big deal, it's one night, but if this becomes, every night, Gregorovich, come and do your circus performance for free, then maybe I need to have another commitment,
Sorry, I was making a decision by a dice roll. I will put it this way. They always come in, but not always what they should be.
This is good to know.
Let me put it this way. There's a reason that I'm fine with sipping wine with you for a little bit.
I assume it's because you work so hard and you deserve a break.
No, maybe I could be a waiter at a circus.
So Neostroy just kind of finishes the drink with that person, and then I think the rest of the night he just wants to spend kind of watching Miguel. Assuming that he can't get close to Fake Alina again.
It depends on how hard you're trying to get to Fake Alina. It's not impossible, but it would be...
He wouldn't throw himself on a stake for it. He wouldn't stab himself with a sword to get close,
Yeah, I think you try to get close a couple times to Fake Alina, and you are not roughly, but you are firmly rebuffed.
Yeah, I don't even think he would go that far. Unless she's, sitting in the open making eye contact with him and gesturing, it'd be I'll stay away from her.
Right.
And he's trying to, not draw attention to himself. He's just kind of, standing around in corners, just keeping an eye on Miguel. Because he kind of wants to know why everyone's talking bad about Miguel.
So, with Fake Alina, I think, you try to get closer one other time. You see her, she looks more alone and her guards aren't there. And you take a step forward, and then you see her guards, we're just, slightly out of sight from where you were standing, and you're like...
Okay, yeah.
You're just nope, not worth the risk, turns around.
Yeah, at this point, it's to him, it's that's, not even the most interesting thing. Now it's why is everyone... Miguel's, arrogant, but, why is waitstaff going, I wouldn't want to work here because of him,
Yeah.
What makes this guy so bad?
So, make me a hide and whatever trait you think you're using.
Can I say, oh wow, my hide is a 0. So...
That good, huh?
Wits. I am not good at blending in. This is not what he does. Woo! And yet, though, that is 2 successes.
So, the way you do this is you're I cannot blend in. I am not good at that. I am not good at not being seen. So, you kind of just, follow behind him 10 feet. So, when he turns a corner, you just, wait and listen. So it's hiding in the, I literally cannot be seen. You're not trying to hide in a crowd or anything because you stick out in those situations.
Right, yeah. It's be behind something.
So you do well enough that you are able to, in the party itself, Miguel seems fine. He seems a little sleazy, slimy.
Yeah.
Doing the thing he does where there's a lot of veiled insults, but nothing, egregious where you're this guy sucks. But then you're able to, kind of follow him into the back, and he's just, constantly berating the servants, acting like he's better than them, telling them, the fish isn't quite properly cooked. It's fine fish,
Yeah.
All that, just, constantly yelling at them as soon as he's back there, his wine glass was half empty once, and he's yelling at the waiter you saw earlier, and that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anything else you'd like to know, or does that give you what you want?
I think for now that's enough. So basically now he's just kind of like, he's still doing the same thing, just kind of like hanging around, trying to keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is he's very two-faced.
Yeah.
Where it's like people who are beneath him, he makes sure that they know they are beneath him. Cormac, how are you?
Doing fine, thanks.
What are you up to at the party?
So Cormac has had some time to kind of float around, but now that like dancing is in full swing, more so, he's gonna
try. It's more ballroom, actually.
He's gonna try to track down Catalina and ask her to dance.
So you find her. She is also doing spying. She is near a group of higher nobles and listening to what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Lovely lady, may I have this dance?
Hello. Sure. Try not to just, like, say your name.
Right, yeah. So he whisks her onto the dance floor.
Make me, is there a dance roll in this?
I mean, I could do
What's the
athletics.
Is there a performance?
There's perform and there's athletics.
Are you trying to just last, or are you trying to do this well?
I think you would try to be showy.
I think it's perform, then.
Okay.
And whatever trait you're using, probably finesse. I can make that call. I'm the DM. I have control over this game. Now kiss everyone, all at once.
So finesse and perform?
Yes, finesse and perform.
Oof. That's 2 successes.
It's not that bad. You do an adequate job. So, you go out onto the dance floor, and Cormac has a swagger and a self-assuredness. And then he starts dancing with Catalina, who was raised from birth to be a noble.
Right.
And she knows all the moves and misses none of them.
Yeah.
And Cormac... Was Cormac raised on a farm?
Yeah. Like, he was not noble in any
What was Cormac's life
before
hitting the high seas?
He grew up on the Glamour Isles. He's Inish. I think they, herded sheep or something.
Enough about his personality. Where's he from?
So, yeah, he has no real experience.
Right. He's just like, dancing. They just do that. Like, it's easy. And
he's athletic, but not, trained.
So you can keep up, but you're, a weird turn. Very quickly, Catalina starts leading you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's good enough at this that she is still looking like she is following.
Right, she has to do the awkward thing of, when the person who's supposed to be following knows more than the person who's supposed to be leading and has to compensate for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And because of that, she does a very good job and makes it look at least makes it not look like you're floundering.
Right.
However, you both know who's dancing here.
Yeah.
So they didn't teach this in the School of Heroes?
I can't say that they did. But I'm a quick learner.
Yeah, I think you're doing fine. Is this your first time dancing ever?
No.
Okay, then you're doing fine, yeah. Fine's the right word.
You caught me, lady.
I mean, if it was your first time, it would have been great.
Should have said that then, huh? What did you think of the performance, though? That Cormac O'Rourke is saving everyone today. The rescuing a princess, rescuing a beautiful duchess from the dingy catacombs.
What do you mean rescuing? What do you think I do all day, Cormac?
I mean, you're in those horrible tunnels under the city.
For the record, the music is loud, people are dancing, and no one's paying attention to this conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in the tunnels, but I am working hard to help the city every day. Cormac, I haven't slept more than 4 hours in a month.
You should do more of that. It's good for you, I hear.
Sleeping only 4 hours?
No, sleeping more than that.
In an entire month, you would be dead. That's crazy.
No, she said
4 hours a night.
I know.
Okay.
I'm being fun.
She might have magic you don't know about.
No, like, I understand that, Cormac. There's a lot I'm doing, and if I had more time, I would. But these things don't organize themselves.
Oh, fair. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with being rescued. Everyone has a part to play in a story.
And you're the main character, right? You're the hero, you do all the saving, and I just sit there and wait until you come pick me up?
Oh, you didn't say I'm the main character. I don't have to be the only important person to be famous. But
you didn't say you're not, though. And you also didn't say that I am not just there to be rescued.
you're very capable. I was just referencing the performance. Why is this such a big deal?
I mean, why is it such a big deal that I want to be a person and not just an object? I'm not just a part of your story, Cormac. I'm a person. I have wants, I have desires, and I'm working hard. Like, I'm just as much a hero you are. Just because I don't introduce myself to everyone who walks by doesn't mean that I'm not doing a lot for the city. Do you think Nostra is less of a hero? Or Lena? Or Sigrither?
I don't think it's what they want.
But are they less of one then because they don't want it?
Well, sure, they're going for something else.
So, just because we don't want to be heroes means we shouldn't be, and we should just all bow to you and to your story and do what you want?
And not to bow to me, don't be ridiculous.
But the other stuff, that's all fine? That's all cool, just we can't bow, Your Highness?
This is the most awkward dance ever.
You haven't been to middle school dances then. Like, this doesn't even hit top 10 in those.
Right.
They're arm's length apart because that's how society danced at this time, not because they don't understand affection.
Look, I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm not trying to...
That's not an apology.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to actually be sorry. I want you to, like, view me as a person.
You are a person. A very important person. A duchess, in fact.
What do you think that means?
That you're going to rule this city, as you should. Like your father did.
Do you know that means I have to work to rule this city? Have you not listened to anything Nostra has said to me in the past 3 years?
I take what he says with a grain of salt.
I mean, yes, I don't think my entire life will be miserable and I'll, like, rue the day and curse the prophet for me being born. Yeah, I don't think that.
Why's Nostra catching strays?
But also, I think that my life will be a lot of work and that I need to prove myself and be worthy of these people. And I don't think you think I can do that. I don't think you view me as someone who has the agency to do that.
I think you're doing a good job. You've got the...
No, you think I'm sitting in the catacombs twiddling my thumbs until you come whisk me away for a party that I told you to go to.
Well, how's it been?
You know what, Cormac? I have work to do. I need to go learn more that I can to help fix this city before someone comes and rescues me away from this dance. And she walks away.
Nice. Nice.
Caitlin says awkwardly. Nice, Caitlin says as Zach is scathingly mean to her for 15 minutes.
It's nice to know that Nostra is not having the worst time at this party, you know?
So as that dance ends and Cormac is alone on the dance floor, fake Alina steps up. May I have this dance?
Oh, sure, why not? Does he recognize her? Like, does he know what she looks like?
She
I guess
looks
she
like
would
Catalina.
have to look like Catalina.
She looks like Catalina.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's weird. So he takes a sec back at this. Duchess?
Yeah, that is typically what people call me, yes.
Should I be bowing more?
I mean, we are dancing. Make another performance check.
Okay.
It's a new dance.
And I don't get an extra die for it being my first time. Hey! I did. I'm so close. I have 2 successes and 2 extra dice.
So you do about the same. You are adequate at dancing still. Nothing as much has changed.
I would have gotten better, but I'm a little distracted.
You do notice that things feel a little bit less smooth.
She's not as good at it as Catalina.
She is not as good at it as Catalina is.
Okay.
Catalina seemed to be an expert at it, where Fakelina seems to be just really good.
Okay.
It's not, you still don't look bad, but there was a smoothness on how Catalina was doing it for you to make it work. That is not there. There's a little bit more of like her like nudging you with her feet or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where Catalina was good enough that you just kind of ended up stepping in the right spot because she moved your bodies in a way that you were forced to.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, what should I call you?
I'm Cormac Rourke, the famous hero. Haven't you heard?
I have. That was quite the story. Rescuing a lost princess. How does the Queen feel about such stories over in the Glamour Isles?
Well, as far as I know, the Queen's not here, is she? You're the ruler here. You get to decide what performances you see.
I do. And I liked your story. It was very fun. It was very nice. And that is a good story.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. If you want more of that, there's a circus in town, if that's your thing, after you need to relax from a long day's work.
Well, I've already met Grigorovich, and he's not my type.
Oh, he's an excellent storyteller.
Yes, but he feels like a man who will say whatever he needs to get what he wants.
And
if he doesn't, and if his tongue doesn't work, it feels like he might use some fire. He does not seem above petty arson, or grand larceny for that matter.
Well, I'm no Grigorovich, but I put on a good show too, if I do say so myself, the circus.
I think you do, and you seem fascinated with stories. You introduce yourself as the hero. And isn't it interesting to think what stories are? Like, take your tale. You had Cormac O'Rourke, the great hero, savior of the country, rescued the queen. But, like, what about the wicked queen? Why did she take control? Why did she take power? Was there something there for her? Was it cruelty? Was it ambition? Was it greed? Was it revenge?
I think some of the power of stories is the ability for you to insert yourself in
But doesn't
fantasy.
it make you wonder what is true and what is not, Cormac? Sir Cormac? I guess you are new here, so I guess you wouldn't be knighted here, but...
You could call me sir if you want.
I mean, that is a title. I mean, are you planning on staying? Do you want to swear fealty to me?
I'm sure such a lowly person as myself wouldn't be of interest to your court.
I don't know. If you seem to be the best sword fighter around.
I think Cormac, kind of looks around like he's never in the group, like he's never the best sword fighter, but he's better than Nostroy, but that's about it.
I was about to say, somewhere else in the ball, Sigarther's ears are burning and she doesn't know why.
Right.
and Lena's.
Right.
It is the funniest thing to me that Nostroy's boast about Cormac is he's the best swords fighter. And I'm like, he's third best and the fourth can't hold a sword without dying.
So he kind of looks around and is like, well, if you say so, Duchess, so it is.
But
are there openings in your guard? Is that what
I
you're
mean,
after?
there can be openings in my guard. Here's the fun part about being Duchess is I get to control who's in my guard.
That you do. Well, if you're recruiting,
For someone like you, I could be.
I'm happy to lend my services and my sword.
Where can I find you after this, Cormac?
Ooh, I think he would say the circus.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
Well, if I have need of your services, I will contact you. But Cormac, I want to leave you with something before this dance ends. Remember, there are multiple sides to every story. Both the imaginative ones that you and Mr. Grigorovich tell, and other ones that are just as fanciful, but we pretend are more real. And then the dance ends, and she walks away.
Melts away. Okay.
It's funny. I've been watching. Are you guys familiar with the TV show Suits?
Yes.
I've been watching it lately, and that whole conversation felt like a lot of the conversations that show where people are saying a lot of words and also saying nothing, but saying everything.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. I'm good. I could write for Suits.
I mean, it's already ended, so.
Exactly why I could write for it. No one can stop me. Become ungovernable. Alrighty. So, Lena, how does your dancing go? As you're being pushed from one eligible suitor to the next, how is she feeling?
I think she's bored. This part of it is the least interesting to her. I think is it the Princess Diaries 2 where she's like dealing with like men of all different ages because they're trying to find her a suitor, and like you got the guy who's way too eager to dance and the guy who's way too young, and you have the guy who can't move because he's so old. It's just like all of that. She hasn't even really noticed. She's able to keep a pretty tame conversation or a pretty shallow conversation going. And she grew up with these dances. So this is like, it's memory. It's muscle memory at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's kind of bored, and she's been spending most of her time doing this kind of scanning the room. She's not, like, trying to actively do anything, but she's not interested in what she's doing.
All right, make me a notice check with, I'm going to say resolve, because you're bored.
A 10 and a dice left over. So 3 raises and a dice left over.
So, you kind of already knew this a little bit, because there are some nobles that were aligned with the Duke's Rebellion very secretively, but you did not know the full extent of it. Catalina does, for sure. She's very much running things.
Like Fakelina or Catalina?
Catalina.
Okay.
The one, the true ruler.
Yeah.
Catalina knows the full extent of like who's in the Duke Rebellion in a much more real way than you guys do, who have been more segmented for multiple reasons. But with looking at who's here and who's not, and knowing that some nobles have aligned with the Duke's Rebellion, you can see that there is very much a divide between, like, the older, longer-lasting, more quote-unquote reputable noble houses all being here, and the newer, less wealthy, less affluent ones are not. Specifically missing, like, there's a lot you can see, but to put a finer point on this, you do not see Vanessa's family here, even though she is here.
Okay.
And by her family, I mean her birth family.
Yeah.
Her husband's here. Her in-laws are here. But that gives you a little bit more perspective on where lines are being drawn in the city.
Okay.
So, this dancing is also especially bad because I think they're the, like, people that you found less fun with.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up.
Absolutely.
They're much more the, like, we must behave properly all the time. And you're like,
yeah.
I'm gonna sword fight and beat up my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So, after some time, you know, after a long while of dancing and doing this, you take a break, and your mother introduces you to, you are introduced to Tristan Neal. He is dressed in the big wig, the very poofy pants, the very, when you think ridiculous Frenchman aristocrat, he looks like that.
Okay.
Specifically, he sticks out at this party because everyone is very much in Oratrios clothing or Castille attire, with rare exceptions of a few people who are from different countries having more of like a little bit flair or a homage to where they're from, but not wearing their traditional garb.
Gotcha.
And he is just does not care about Castilian clothing at all. He is in French garb, head to toe, not even trying.
Cool.
Well, hello.
It is nice to make your acquaintance, Senor Tristan?
Monsieur Tristan.
Monsieur Tristan, I am so sorry.
Yes, I prefer you to address me in the higher language of Montaguese. Montaguese? That's all I can think of is honking, like French duck.
Is that how you say it?
What? I was thinking like Montaguese, like Portuguese, and then in my head I said Montaguese, like in my head, like oh ho ho ha ha ha. I'm gone. Sorry, that's it. Podcast is done.
Episode over.
Done. We're ending on Montaguese.
I apologize. My Montaguese is not up to par, it seems. Monsieur Tristan.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and you are a very nice mademoiselle.
Well, thank you so much. May I ask what your what a monsieur such as yourself is doing here in Castille?
Well, as your parents made it very apparent that they wanted everyone from high society here, and who is more affluent and better than everyone else than the Montags? Is it Montag?
Montague?
It's not Montague. Isn't it It's Montaignes.
Montaigne.
There we go. It's not Montague because that is Romeo and Juliet. And I'm like, I could not think of anything other than Montague. The Montaignes. Also, I happen to be the head sorcerer over at the tower.
Oh, I was not aware. I have not met many sorcerers from. I believe it is. The group is the Sorcerers of Porte. Is that correct?
That is us. We do the magic of the Porte. It is very useful and fun, and I can show you a little bit if you'd like.
Oh, I would love to see some. I love being dazzled by magic.
Please do not be alarmed. I am about to pull out a knife.
And he pulls out a probably about foot-long knife. It looks very curved.
Lena looks back at Sigurdur and winks at her. Don't be alarmed. I think I don't think he's trying anything.
If you say so, don't worry. If he does, he won't regret it for very long.
Mademoiselle, what is your favorite fruit?
You know, we don't get them a whole lot here, but I do love strawberries.
Now watch.
And you see him take this knife and just slash at the air, and in it, a rip, like, just forms hanging in the air. It is blood red and, like, seeping out a little bit. Not, like, bleeding, but, like, having, like lines crack out from it, almost like cracked marble. And he reaches his hand in and pulls out a strawberry.
You see, the magic of the Porte is some of the most powerful. It is not these paltry things like what the Vestins do with their runes, or the uncontrollable magic of Ison that creates monsters. This is the future. And Montaigne is the future. And he hands you the strawberry.
Real quick, before that, Cormac, Nostroy, how close are you to Lena?
How close are we to Lena?
Yes.
I don't think I'd be particularly close.
Okay.
It depends if Miguel is nearby. Right now, he's still shadowing Miguel.
I don't think so. Okay. There was stuff you guys could have learned from that.
Would Sigurdur be able to?
No.
Okay.
There is something specific to you guys that you guys would be able to notice.
Well, now I'm very curious.
Well, then get by Lena.
Lena, claps her hands to. I don't have my other hand. Lena, claps her hands together, before taking the strawberry. That was fascinating. I don't think I've seen magic like that, ever.
I mean, you need to come to the civilized world more then.
Caitlin, actively barfing over there.
You know, I am not near skilled in magic at all, so it is quite fascinating to me. I would love to learn more about it.
Well, you are welcome at the tower anytime. My treat.
And he grabs another strawberry before he seals up the rip.
You know, I think I am going to have to take you up on that someday.
Hey Wanderers, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Corsairs of Castille. This game is being run in the 7th Sea 2nd Edition system. If you want to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, you can check us out at the Wandering Gamer Network website. We stream on Twitch with the username Wandering_Gamers, and you can follow us on Twitter at the WGN Podcast. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. All information about the music used can be found in the episode description. Until next time, wherever you wander, may you find your way home.